Hello everyone, my name is Michael and I'm speaking to you from the Verse. Now if you're not sure what the Verse is, I encourage you to go to my website at rewritingtheverse.com, and that's where you can find out all about the information about the Verse, all the YouTube videos that are connected to the Verse, and or the work that I do with the past life regressions and rewrites are all there on the website, so I encourage you to go check those out. So this video is specifically connected to the upcoming 11/11/2020 portal, and it is an Ascension gate. However, I've been trying to open up this past life regression for a couple days, and it hasn't been willing to be open, and now all of a sudden I'm getting a major download. Pardon me, I'm gonna have to deal with my throat issues right now. I don't get to choose the timing of these things. Today it's going to be different. I usually do a specific twin flame, divine masculine, divine feminine timeline to look at to heal past life regressions and do a rewrite of the outcomes so that we can power up to go through this upcoming portals like the 11/11/2020 portal. However, I'm being told that we're doing something different tonight. I guess this was probably known by whoever my guides are for at least a few days. This is why they wouldn't let a timeline open up for me. Sorry, I'm dealing with some gunk in my throat, so I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot probably during this. I basically ate very quickly my dinner because this is literally in the last few minutes I'm being told what to do or what needs to be done right now. And I need to take care of my physical needs and eat some dinner, but now I've got some crud in my throat, and again, I don't get to choose the timing of these things. Basically, it is now about probably 7:35-ish p.m. here in Central Time Zone in Texas, USA, and we're not doing a past life regression because yeah, we're going to be doing work with timelines, but tonight we're actually going to jump timelines, and I haven't done it yet. I've been told I'm supposed to do that live with you right here, right now. So nothing about this is scripted, or have I had any more than maybe a few minutes to think about what I'm supposed to share here. So I'm being guided in the moment as to what needs to be talked about, what needs to be shared. I have done personal jumps between timelines before, but this is meant to be a collective jump, I believe. Here in the US, in the last week, it's been just about 7 days, we've had our presidential elections here, and it's been, let me just be careful about how I describe it, different than any other election. I would just say in general, lots of shady things I believe were occurring behind the scenes connected to this election, and I would question the outcome at this point if I was anybody wanting to just pay attention to what's going on the planet. This election was very important, not just for the US, but for the whole globe. And I do believe that I think we needed to see what happened with that. I'm just going to basically channel, because this is not my own thinking. This is what I believe I'm being given right in the moment. That however things happen, I'm not saying it's even whatever's being shown on the news, on the mainstream media. I'm not saying, or even on the back channels that talk about the more, oh, here's my little girl just showing up for the video. So I don't know what's shifting behind the scenes. Again, I don't need to know. I guess we don't need to know, other than we have to get off of this timeline immediately. I mean, I felt the energy when it was starting to come through that this is time sensitive. Like, we really are, we're having to jump before this timeline collapses, which I believe is going to be tonight, probably very soon, which is why we have to get off of it. Sorry, it's going to annoy me all the way through this video. I apologize that you have to listen to that. Okay, so we have to jump. I can tell you that I've been aware that we've been kind of being corralled. I don't know if that's a good word for it, but the universe, and I'm not saying this is all like negative energy either, but something probably has seen this coming, right? There are higher sources that have very clear vision of what's happening. And maybe they knew this was going to happen, or possibility, so they had us really streamlining, and I'm going to have to ask my cat not to do that. Sunshine. Stop that. Sit down. I know the energy's intense. Okay. I'm sure she's feeling this energy too. And I'm sorry I don't know how to edit, so sorry I had to walk away. All right. But yes, I'm sure not only is she sensitive to energies, but I'm sure she senses there's a lot of beings right here in this room with me, supporting me with this, helping guide this video. I'm just actually more of a messenger probably right now than anything, but I do know how to jump timelines. Oh, somebody's touching my cheek, so whoever that is, I didn't confirming that they're here. So yes, over the last several months, I feel like there's just been a constant, every time we try to turn this way or that way or do anything other than what we're already in and not necessarily wanting to be in, it just keeps getting narrower and narrower to the point where there was only literally one path. Whatever that path is that you've been on, especially in the last week or two, it all channeled down to that one point, that one path, probably that one timeline, okay? And actually, I've been aware that we've been crossing basically a very narrow, if you want to call it a bridge, and I think we all have different types of bridges that we're crossing, but we're crossing a chasm right now. And we are on our way, I believe, to a safe place. We have been headed that way. However, the timeline we are on right now, I'm being told, is collapsing tonight. Well, it's going to be purposeful, an attempt to take us all out. I'm just going to call a spade, the darkness. If they can't win, then they'll take us all with them. I was watching a movie. What did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched Ready Player One. And the scene, I had seen it once before, but watched it again. And the scene at the end I felt was very interesting, and then of course I think it's what's happening right now. When the good guy is about to win the game and whatever, and the darkness realizes that they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They would rather destroy every single avatar in the movie, in the game, than to lose. That means killing themselves. It doesn't matter. They want the game over. If they can't win, they want game over for everyone. That's what I'm being told. That's why I had to watch that movie, so I could use that as an example. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's basically, yeah, bad guys aren't winning, so fine, kill everybody. That's their answer to this. And unfortunately, I believe the timeline that we're on at this very moment is that timeline. We have to get off. We have to get off while I'm on this video. I feel a lot of energy, and it's pretty much been there since I realized what was happening. I'm trying to eat my dinner as fast as I could because I knew I needed to get in here and report this and do this. So I can see that we are all out, and like I said, we're all on this very narrow bridge of whatever kind of bridge you've got that's pretty scary and dangerous, actually. I think we were trying to get to the other side before this happened, before the timeline / bridge that we're on disintegrates beneath us. So again, this is all, I have no premeditated, I'm going to go with whatever they're guiding me to do, but this is live in the moment. This is big. And with the 11/11/2020 portal, only a couple days away, because today is November 9th. So Monday, November 9th. I don't like doing my videos a day or two earlier, but this is, again, there was all sorts of timing in blocking me from being able to do my regular beforehand, so that I would know I would be looking to do another video tonight. And this is why. This is huge. I've never done, well, one, I've never done a timeline jump for everybody, at least consciously. But I've never done one live on video. So this is a first in lots of ways. What else do we need to know? They're telling me, okay, this is a split. Not everybody is going to jump. There's still free will. There's still free will. No matter what I decide, what the overall collective decides, every individual can still choose to stay on a dying timeline. Dying and almost dead, quite honestly, tonight is it. Now, most people aren't conscious of what's going on, so this is their higher selves making the choices, but ultimately, we're out of time. Maybe in this election here in the US over the last week, and whatever is reverberated across the planet, has helped people make their final choices about whether or not they're going to jump or stay here. But this is a choice point right now. And the time is up. Whatever maybe last decisions are being literally made right now, the moment we're at 100% choice is when I'm going to jump. Because only those that truly choose to go to this new timeline, this new timeline is where we are destined to go. This is a part of our destiny. It's a part of our ascension. This 11/11/2020 portal apparently is a big part of getting us over this last gap to a timeline that supports a higher vibration than what we're on right now. Right now, I feel death. I feel it. Whether there's a bomb, who knows? The dark side has many, many tools that it can do. You think the coronavirus was a coincidence or just something that was natural? It absolutely was not. And that was just a precursor to what they have planned. So, this current timeline is about to drop out from under us. And those that choose to stay on this timeline choose to go through that experience. And I think there are some things worse than death, honestly. But that's their choice. It's their soul's choice if they want to go through that. But there's a vast, massive number of beings that are ready for the higher level experiences to ascend. And this is what we're doing right now. We're actually going to go on a timeline that is the word that they just gave me is secured. So I'm not even sure that this timeline was necessarily ready or primed enough. We may have actually had to do some, who knows how many healings had to even have that timeline that we're going to go to be ready. But I feel like what I'm seeing is that there were multiple roads to get to where we're going, and it kept chopping out every possible one so that we were all like cattle being moved across this very narrow, dangerous area. But we have another timeline now. It may not have even been available even yesterday. I don't know. Whatever it was, whoever helped create that timeline, thank goodness it's there. Because the only place that this timeline is now going is over the edge and down. Okay. Just so you know, my kitty did come back in here. She's sitting there. Very wise little girl. Been with me in many a lifetime, I'm sure, doing this crazy stuff. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I get downloads all the time, but I don't always have to translate them to other people. I'm feeling like the other timeline is up and to the left. Up and to the left. Not a parallel. Not one that's exactly vibrating at where this timeline is at, which is barely alive at this point. Up. So when we jump, we're jumping up in vibration. And that one goes through the 1111 portal the way, well, we were meant to. This one will not. So, I know timing is everything, so I'm not sure exactly. They're saying we're 99% ready right now, so we're waiting for. Are we waiting for some last minute people to make their choice? I don't know what time it is. Of course, my clock up there. Okay, we are waiting for the last few, because this is the last opportunity for people to jump ship. You know, I was just today talking with somebody about the fact that I have skydived before. Gosh, how many years ago was it? Probably at least 5 or 6 years ago. And, was scared the free fall part was the scary part. After that, I mean, I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to die, but, you know, it's still, and the word I used was unnatural to be free falling from 14,000 feet, whatever the case is. But that's what we're going to have to do right now. It is scary. I did that in real life. And I hope at some level you know you're not going to die in this and it will all turn out. But that initial jump, when you first, I can tell you when it was a tandem jump, so I had somebody, you know, strapped to my back. But, you know, waddling over to the door, looked very different out the window. But, you know, the moment we got to the door, I realized what was I thinking. Anyway, but I did it. You know, we did jump. And it went fine, although we landed extra hard. But overall, you know, it went the way it went. So it is scary. I'm going to liken it to my experience with that free fall, especially before the chute opens, when I couldn't even fully close my mouth because my lips were up by my ears with the wind from that free fall. But the chute will open. I guarantee you, every single one of you have your guides, have your angels, have your ancestors, people on the other side, whoever. You have a team. You have a tandem team. You're not jumping alone. We'll jump together on this video. But of course, this is time sensitive. So when you finally see this, it will be past tense. But If you feel a shift tonight, just know it's because we're literally jumping out of a perfectly good airplane into the unknown. But there is a timeline to catch us. That is what I'm being told. And it's just one, but it's at the level that we need and want. It is ascending powerfully up through that 1111 portal. And we need to be on that one. I get that we're at 99.5% of choice points being made, so we've only got 0.5 points, 0.4. So it's getting smaller and smaller. Once we get 100%, everybody knows exactly which timeline they're going on. We're jumping. So say goodbye to this timeline. Now, I've jumped many timelines, so this is certainly not the one I've been on my whole life. And probably for the ones that are going with me anyway, the ones that are going up and out, we've been on many timelines already. This one got us as far as it could get. I'm not even saying this is a failure. I'm just saying that this one, up until this point, was a potential. But now there's only one. We don't need more than one. But we need one that's solid and that's ready to take us where we need to go, which is up. Vibrationally, frequency, upwards. Looks like my little girl back there is preparing. So, okay, point 3. So last few people are making their choices right now. Something's going to happen tonight. Probably shortly after we make the jump, something is going to happen to this timeline. And whatever it is, we won't be here for it. Because we've chosen a different path. We've chosen not just, I would say our destiny. My destiny anyway does not end here. I can tell you that. So we need to go on a timeline that can take us there. So, point 2, we're almost there. We're at 99.8% people committed one way or the other. There's really only yes or no. There's not a split of 3, 4, however many different, no. Point 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna get ready because I do believe once we hit 100%, that's all we're waiting for right now. And then we'll be able to make the leap. Just allow your guides, again, your support system, whoever it is, angels, your version of God, allow it to carry you. So that's all it takes is faith. This is all frequency, people. There's nothing you have to do. Just let yourself be taken care of. Let yourself be helped. Let them jump with you in tandem. Point 1. You're not alone. And you're with me. Whether you know it or not right now in this moment, you are with me. And I can tell you I have had many lifetimes, and including this one, where I've led masses. I've led in the physical, I've led spiritually, I've led in many different ways. I'll get you there safely. And then it's onwards and upwards. Okay, we're at 100% now. Ooh, I already felt that shift. So, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna go with the energy here and then doing a countdown. You don't need to hear the countdown, but I will listen. And I'll let you know when the jump is made. So just sit back and relax and be taken care of. You've earned you've earned the opportunity to keep going, to keep playing the game of Ascension. And we're jumping now. And my little girl just sneezed to confirm it. Thank you, sweetie. Wow. We're being lifted. Being lifted. Up and to the left. I'll let you know when we're firmly on the other timeline. We're in transition right now. Feel this very heavy energy. I could feel the vibration starting to lift. Yeah, we're still transitioning, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm getting. That vibration, oh man, was that a prison for many of us. Those of us that were so ready to continue were being so suppressed. That vibration just absolutely, that extremely dark energy was just, tightening the noose is how I've termed it. I could feel it. I could feel it over the last few months. I could feel there was so much energy to create, to start new amazing things, to finally step into our destiny, and yet it was just, we weren't allowed to get there. And apparently we weren't going to be able to at some point. Probably in this last week, it was the wow. This timeline was quote unquote killed this last week. Whatever was going on behind the scenes politically, and it's not just political, there's just so many really, everything we see on the surface is not what's really going on. But if you're sensitive like I am, you felt it. There was a war of energy. That dark, tightening energy trying to literally corral us and lead us to slaughter. That's what I got. They were leading us to slaughter, and for many, just chose to stay on that timeline to go there. But for those of us that are done with that old game, where the darkness wins even if they have to lose too, where we all have to die because they're not willing to let anybody escape their grasp, too late. Now for those left behind, I don't want to say I necessarily feel sorry for them, because they just chose that. Nobody is a victim on this planet, not even children really, when it comes down to it. And I work with children. I still don't believe that they are necessarily, just because they're physically young, chronologically young in this life, I still believe they chose to have certain things happen to them in this life. That doesn't mean we don't have compassion though. And for those that chose to stay on that timeline, which I'm now starting to feel like we are just starting to get in alignment with this new one. I can feel almost like a toe touching down over here. I have compassion for them. I have compassion for them. I think that's ultimately the best. I don't feel sorry for them. There are no victims. But I have compassion that they're going to have a very, very hard ending to that timeline. Whatever that looks like, I don't need to know. That's for them to experience now. That's not my destiny, and it's not yours. I believe if you're watching this, you're probably one of the ones that chose to go on the higher timeline. I feel like got 1 foot down basically on this new timeline. It's kind of a golden mist color. Just know that everybody that stayed on that timeline had every opportunity, many, many opportunities to make a different choice. And after all of this, if they still chose to stay there, then that's their right to choose that timeline. And it will bring soul growth no matter what. And so will ours. I feel like we almost have that second foot on the timeline here. Ours will bring us growth too. And growth at the rate that what's the right word for it? That we're ready for. We had run out of opportunities to learn in that old timeline. The only thing left to learn was to die a horrible whatever death or life that isn't very positive. But we've already gone through that. We've been through that several times. But now maybe, just maybe, well, I can't even say maybe, it is possible on this lifetime, on this timeline, in this lifetime, but on this timeline. This is the one that's going up powerfully through the 11/11/2020 Ascension portal. Okay, we're getting the second foot down. I'm just getting, this is their way of showing me, I mean, obviously this all figuratively, putting feet down on it, but they're just kind of letting me know how close we are, because when we get 2 feet firmly on the timeline, we're in. Okay, I think there. Yes. Yeah, just feels very similar to how it feels when I do rewrites and the frequency rises and the outcomes are so much better and more empowering. Wow. They're telling me within an hour of this video, I think it's probably based on the time that it's this, how deep we are into this video, it's probably after 8 p.m. Central Time, shortly after that. Sometime in this, I want to say the next hour, but by midnight time here, something's going to happen on that other timeline. And I want to send them blessings right now. That whoever chose to stay, whoever chose that timeline is going to experience a very difficult situation. And I bless them on their journey. I have compassion for them. And I know eventually, some way, somehow, those souls will make it in the same direction that we're going, but in their own timing. And it's not now. Just making sure that everybody in the collective that chose to go has made it across. I think they're still kind of coming in. But we're all kind of moving as one. So as one person anchors in. The whole group is anchoring in right now. So just know that you might feel a shift, especially over the next 3 days or so. Well, definitely while we're in the 11/11 portal energy, which is another reason why it needed to happen tonight, because we're definitely within that energy now. And I'm getting a percentage of people anchored over here, so I want to be sure that we get 100% people anchored on the timeline, that everybody's getting a foothold here. Sorry, I'm just waiting for people to finally get fully anchored over here, but also I feel like I'm being given a message about as we were crossing the bridge. This is what I kind of knew about crossing the bridge, and we've been on the bridge, like I said, I'm going to say at least a week to 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly when I was aware that we were stepping onto it, but sometime in the last couple of weeks. And that there would be something, I was told, there would be something that happens when I would know that I made it to the other side and was able to get off of that very shaky, rickety bridge. I'm going to say that this is it. Everything felt like it was like literally being pushed off of made to walk the plank, basically, where eventually it felt like it was going to just not be there anymore. And there was no turning back. I mean, I was clear, everybody on this planet was out on that bridge. There was no turning back, and there was no stopping. Life was going to push you to the end of that. Well, not for us. We're off that bridge. All of us that are here, we're off that bridge. We're at 90% of people being fully grounded, everybody being fully grounded on this new timeline. So I want to make sure we hit that 100% before I wrap up the video. Apparently my little girl is very relaxed now because she's given herself a bath. Anyway. Wow. This is not a typical video. If you look at any of the other ones, I've never done one like this online, and definitely not consciously for entire collective have I jumped timelines before. But here we are. I want to thank all of you, though, that did come along for the ride, because this is certainly a group effort, right? None of us are an island. Not me. None of us can do this alone. And now we've bought ourselves a whole new, very solid bridge to the new. Do I feel like we are necessarily fully in the new yet? Not until after 11/11 at least, but this is a very solid bridge that absolutely will continue on. And there's all sorts of new opportunities here, new possibilities, new people to meet, new just creative energy. The darkness isn't here. Not what we were dealing with over there. No. Here, we get to experience the sun. Being shown the sun card from the tarot, which is really the happiest card in the entire tarot deck. Happiness, joy, prosperity, abundance. I'm going to throw love in there as well, even though that's just one of many things that can be abundant in our lives, right? There was no room to create where we came from. For those of us that were ready for more, chomping at the bit for more, there was nothing. That was a dying timeline, and it will be dead by the end of tonight. but we have new life now. A lot of people I know, including myself, have had throat issues, maybe a little bit of, like infections or whatever, struggling to breathe over there. Well, I would love for this to help clear up that issue for myself and everybody else that's going through similar issues. When you're being strangled to death, hung energetically by the dark side, it's difficult to breathe. Well, that's gone. And we're at 100% right now. 100% touchdown now. Everybody has both feet on the timeline. Everybody is integrating it now. There's no chance of anybody not landing. Everybody's landed. Everybody, I don't know if there's a special kind of landing when you're parachuting, but whatever it is, we landed exactly where we needed to be, and everybody made it. Everybody made it. We can all probably breathe easier. I noticed when I started this video, I was clearing my throat and everything for the first few minutes, and I really haven't had that happen, or even a cough, since the very first few minutes. So let's have this be the norm. Let's catch our breaths, heal, do what we need to, and move on. It's time for us to finally really fully step into our destinies. I believe that's pretty much the message, everybody. Thank you for being here, for listening. And whoever needs to hear this is going to hear it or see it. So thank you all, because I know all of you that will see it and really value what this says were one of the ones to jump with me. So welcome to the new. I'm just going to leave it that way. Welcome to the new. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful 11/11/2020 portal. And I will talk to you soon. Peace and joy.